two things. They can't turn the ball over, especially in their end of the field, and then they can't give up the big play to Dowagiac. If they're going to give up touchdowns to Dowagiac, make them go the entire field.
Jack, what are your thoughts? Keys for tonight's win?
I think biggest keys for the Trojans tonight are just keeping their emotions in check. Homecoming's the best week of the year. High school, there's a lot going on. Big dance snow. They just got to keep their emotions in check, not make any dumb mistakes.
All right, Dowagiac had taken the field a moment ago. They're dressed in their road white jerseys with the orange pants and the black numerals on the white jerseys, black helmets. Sturgis, the look we saw 2 weeks ago for their home opener, they're all black pants, jerseys, the trimmed orange numerals on the front and back.
Those are hard to see.
Yeah, with almost the charcoal gray in between the middle of the numerals and the orange, those new orange helmets. They're showcasing again here in 2020. By the way, we do have chairs set in the end zone at the south end, Randy. What's that all about?
Yeah, that's where the 7th and 8th grade football teams are going to be sitting. Good that the younger kids are able to watch the game this evening.
That's a cool idea, huh, Jack?
Yeah, that's a good idea. It's going to be really awesome when I was in 7th grade to be amazing.
All right, here's James Whitehead and the Trojan Marching Band with our national anthem. That's the opener, playing the national anthem this season for the Sturgis Trojan Marching Band. A couple of notes for you. And of course, we have a myriad of ways that you can listen to our broadcast these days. We've also got two special things going on for this home game tonight. Number one, we are doing a video simulcast on the Sturgis Public Schools YouTube channel. Andy Hatt and his crew are handling things there, so you may be listening to Randy, Jack, and I on the YouTube and also catching video of tonight's game. And we're also teaming with Sturgis Public Schools on their website for their midfield camera. Von Metzger handling that. So that's through the Sturgis Public Schools website, sturgisps.org. There is a subscription fee for that, but those of you that may be watching in, we welcome you folks to Sturgis High School as well.
But no subscription for the YouTube, right?
That's correct. I believe that is free of charge.
Anybody can go on YouTube, and I think it's under Sturgis Athletics, isn't it?
Now, if you want to give Andy Hatt a tip, he may take money. I don't know.
I would think he probably would.
Bitcoin,
Andy. Yeah, just draw something up and say this is payment, and that's kind of like virtual currency, right?
Exactly. Sturgis lost the toss. Dowagiac won, and they're going to defer. Sturgis had been winning the flips this year and deferring themselves. So the Trojans on homecoming night will get the football first. Dowagiac will be kicking out of the south end. So Sturgis will be moving towards that south goal line. The sun just setting right now, starting to creep behind the trees along the western horizon. And again, just an absolute perfect night for high school football in this Week 4 matchup. We will tell you, by the way, about the homecoming coordinator coming up at halftime. Jack Shesky will be chatting with the Queen. Now, Jack, that's all you're supposed to do is interview her, okay? Nothing else.
Yeah, I saw your wife walking in. She's sitting down here, so you behave yourself.
Yeah, I think she's a little worried that I'll be conducting the interview.
Also, we'll be taking a look back this week in Sturgis Trojan varsity sports, and man, it was a big week, Randy, for a lot of the Trojan teams.
A lot of nice things happen in Sturgis athletics this week, and we'll be excited to tell you at halftime.
All right, here we go. Just about ready to get this thing underway. Nate Judd, who does the kicking and punting, boots it with the right foot deep over the shoulder and dropped by Jacob Thompson. He goes back to the 8-yard line, picks it up, broke one tackle at the 15, struggles ahead, another 360 move, broke 2 tackles, and dives across the 30 to the 3-yard line. Randy, that's just his MO right now. You better wrap him up or he's going to go further.
Boy, it's just stunning that he got out past the 15-yard line, let alone the 30. He was just wrapped up 2 or 3 times.
Here come the Trojans offense. Riley Kane, the senior, gets the start at quarterback tonight. Blake Berkey will go at running back. Roman Robinson, the sophomore halfback. Connor Thomas, sophomore flanker. Xander Cosby's a senior split end. Connor Strudwick gets the start at tight end tonight. He's a senior, and he replaces Kane, who's the normal tight end. They go with Blake Berkey, and he broke a tackle and got some good blocking up over the 40 to the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 11 and a Trojan first down.
Yeah, Blake just started going around the right end and saw a little crease and cut it back against the grain. Able to pick up 12 yards.
Trojan offensive line, Randy, averages 251 pounds from left to right. Chris Miller at left tackle, 281. Julian Aldridge at left guard. Ellis Van Wagner, the center. J.D. Bodie goes at right guard tonight. He was at tackle last week. And Joe Wilson, 310-pound sophomore, goes at right tackle for first-year coach Chance Stewart. Direct snap, Jacob Thompson coming to the sideline, hits the boundary and gets driven out of bounds by 2 Chieftains. He will lose a yard back to the 44-yard line. That play just never developed, Jack, that time for the Trojans.
I like the Trojans shaking up doing the wildcat formation, but it looks like Thompson just couldn't find a hole. The Chieftains had him plugged up.
Dewajak, they lost a lot, Randy, to graduation a year ago. They made the playoffs, lost in the opening round. But second-year coach Randy Brooks, who spent 10 years at Edwardsburg, 9 as the defensive coordinator, he knows how to win football.
Oh, I'm sure he does, and how to build a program, more importantly.
Well, something didn't go right here. Roman Robinson on the in motion took the snap, but that was just not good looking all the way around. Trojans called for moving before the snap, and that'll cost them 5 yards and bring up 2nd and 16.
Yeah, it kind of looked like Kane may have moved a little bit, prior to the snap as Roman Robinson was coming across.
Timing was just a little bit off, wasn't it?
Yeah, that Roman Robinson, he plays all over the field. Whatever they need him to do, it seems like, sure, why not?
He has been impressive. He was our player of the game, recently. And on the option keep, Kane struggling to get back to the original line of scrimmage. He'll get 6 up to the 45-yard line. And it'll bring up 3rd and 10 there for Sturgis. The Wajak defense, they run a 3-4, Randy. Their nose tackle is Braxton Whitaker. He's a sophomore. On the ends are Cameron Johnson and Wyatt Bailey. Bailey's a returning starter. The outside linebackers, Jordan Harden and Vicente Madison. Inside backers, Brian Paredes and Terrence Price. Price is a returning starter. Strong safety is Denny White, senior, returning starter. The corners are Seth Ward and Brendan Lozano, and David Collier is a senior at free safety. He minds the back end. Showing some movement on that defensive line. On the option again, Kane going to try to tuck and keep. He's drilled behind the line of scrimmage and dropped for no gain by Brian Paredes, the inside junior linebacker. A loss of 1, and the Trojans are going to have to punt. It's 4th and 11.
Yeah, Kane getting up a little bit slow, going back to the huddle. He went to cut back, and when he cut back, he cut right into the defensive end.
Jack, I don't know if he was looking for someone to pass to, but if he was, there was absolutely no one open.
Yeah, it didn't appear that anyone was open. It's a bummer because the Wajak seemed to be a little confused on the defensive line, but unfortunately the Trojans ran it to the side where all the defenders were.
So Kane just backs up now inside his 35. He'll punt it away. 2 deep men for the Chieftains. It's a low kick, hits at the 31, takes a Trojan bounce into the hands of the return man at the 28-yard line. That's number 4, Danny White. And White is hit and stopped quickly by the Trojan special teamers at the 32. But Dewajak has their first chance with 9:25 to play in a scoreless opening quarter.
Yeah, it looked like Van Wagner got down there on the tackle. Maybe also looked like 85.
Yeah, great coverage by Van Wagner, getting all the way down there so fast as a line move.
It was 85, Randy. That's Brecken Pritchard. And Brecken is getting a start on the defensive line tonight as a junior. He's at tackle. We'll get to the Trojan D in a moment. Tight formation. 3 running backs, and the handoff gives to the fullback. And that's Malachi Haynes, the sophomore, and he drags a few Trojans with him for a nice little pickup. He got close to 5 yards before Jaden Bodie, the senior, brought him down.
And as he was trying to drag the Trojans, he was trying to stretch that ball out like he was going for the goal line. He's lucky somebody didn't come in and knock that away.
Dwajak on offense, they start a senior quarterback, but he did not start last year. Zane McPhail. You heard Haynes, the sophomore fullback. They have a pair of halfbacks in Denny White and David Collier, go both ways. Broken play, quarterback in trouble, swung around, hit, and buried back at the 30-yard line.
He was trying to hand it to somebody, and there was just nobody that would take it.
With progress, it's only a loss of about a yard, so it's going to bring up 3rd down now and 6. Trojan defense up front. Ellis Van Wagner's at nose tackle. Julian Aldridge joins him. On the ends are Connor Strudwick and Jaden Bodie and Brecken Pritchard. So it's a 5-man front in week 4 for Sturgis. The outside linebackers, Roman Robinson and Blake Berkey. The middle linebacker is Riley Keene. Strong safety tonight is Jacob Thompson. Xander Cosby goes at quarterback. And the junior Luke Herman gets his first start tonight. He's a free safety. Up the middle, they keep it on the ground for a yard or 2. That's it. Good stop by the Trojans. Jack, it's going to be 3 and out. They're going to get the ball back.
The defense looked good, especially if you see their spot and complain that they're not fighting on the great defensive series.
Indeed it was, and so now they'll have a chance to get it back as Randy goes back inside his 30 to return the punt.
You'd like to get a free catch here and, unobstructed and take off with this one.
7.5, clock moving. Scoreless opening quarter from Sturgis High School. Still some daylight left as the punter, Judd, gets it off. And the Sturgis team going to let it hit and roll, and it takes a Dwajak bounce inside the 30 and down at the 25-yard line. So the Trojan offense will have a second shot to move it, but both teams kind of feeling each other out, Randy, here in the opening moments of this football game.
Yeah, I think that was a good idea from Thompson not to try and catch that punt. That ball was going end over end as it was coming down at him. Not with a backspin like a kick would be maybe, but end over end toward him. That was going to be a tough catch.
So 1st and 10 for the Trojans, starting at their 25-yard line. Riley came back out there. We'll give you an injury update on the Trojans who are not dressed tonight in a moment. Berkey gets a handoff. A little bit of room. Finally draws about 4 white jerseys around him, but not until he gains 7 over the 30 to the 32-yard line. 2 Trojans still out, Randy, and they're big ones. Brady Hecht, our big tackle and defensive lineman. They hope maybe to get him back next week, and the news is even better for Brady Webb. He's got good motion now on that left elbow. They think he could go next week at Otsego, possibly.
Boy, that would be great to add those 2 people to our rotation.
Kane on the option. He's not going anywhere but down into the arms of a pair of Dwajak
and he is down. He's on his hands and knees, not feeling it.
And yes, he is. You don't want to see that. Remember, it was his shoulder 2 weeks ago, Jack, and I don't know what he's holding there, but he's in pain. We know that.
Yeah, it's hard to tell what Keene is holding. He was on all fours and now is laying down. It appears that trainer Ashley Hopkins is looking at his upper extremities. Hopefully it's not over the injury of that shoulder.
Head coach Chance Stewart out there as well, checking out the scene here, and he runs back over to the near sideline to talk to his offensive group. Stop and play with the injury. 3rd and 4 upcoming after this injury for Sturgis.
Trojans really haven't gotten to see Hecht play much. He was really, really playing well against Three Rivers. But then went out with that injury, and we haven't really seen him since.
Jack looks like the shoulder as he walks over towards the near sideline.
Yeah, but it looks like it's that left shoulder again. Keene has his arm in a sling position. We'll try and get him up there later from the trainers and see what's wrong.
In the meantime, you would guess, Randy, that Jacob Thompson will see action at quarterback.
Yeah, limits the things that he can do, though. I mean, you know, it's nice to give it to him with misdirections, you know, with Berkey going one way and him going another way, that sort of thing. But next man up.
Yeah, it could be Berkey too, but it looks like Thompson is going to join Berkey, and Jacob, the sophomore, is going to take the snaps for now. 6:13 to play. Midway through the open quarter, we're scoreless. Thompson takes the snap, comes near sideline, tries to cut it back upfield. He won't get enough. Got a yard, maybe two, to about the 33-yard line. Needs the 35. It'll be fourth down and 3 for Sturgis.
Kane has been punting also for the Trojans, so we may see Robin Robinson. He kind of came in and punted under difficult conditions in 2 games ago.
And you called it, Randy. It is Roman Robinson, and you're right. He did come in and do a nice job. And we've alluded to it. There's not much this kid doesn't seem like he can do. And he gets it off. It's end over end. It's high, but it's not very long. Hits at the 44, takes a Dwajak bounce, and it'll go dead at the Sturgis 43-yard line. So that's a net punt of about 10 yards when everything is said and done. And the Chieftains are going to have great field position with 5:25 to play in a scoreless first quarter.
Yeah, obviously he didn't get the foot into that one that he was hoping for, and Trojans defense is going to have to really dig in here and get a stop.
He got the height, just not the distance.
Hey, we need that one when it's down by the goal line.
Little pin him deep.
Yep.
All right, 1st and 10 Chieftains. Zane McPhail, the senior QB, back out there. Strange formation that they run, and they've got a man in motion. He gets the toss. Right side, the wide side. Number 14 turns the corner into the Trojan secondary. Inside the 20, dragged out of bounds at about the 15-yard line. And a huge pickup there for number 14, David Collier. Ellis Van Wagner chased him down all the way from the defensive line. It is a big pickup of 28 yards.
Yeah, Jack, it looked like they just kind of broke containment on this right side. What did it look like?
Yeah, it looks like Dwajak ran 2 lead blockers out, and they were able to get the Sturgis ends. We've otherwise been doing a good job containing the outside. Unfortunate that the Chieftains were able to break out on that one.
Chieftains in the red zone for the first time on this Friday night on homecoming night in Sturgis. Handoff inside. That's the fullback, Malachi Haynes, and Haynes, with help from his teammates, pushes the pile inside the 10 to about the 7. Give him 8 yards on that thing. It's going to bring up 2nd and short for the orange and black of Dwajak.
Well, there was nothing fancy there. They just gave it to him, and it was kind of a road grader kind of play.
Well, this team, we just have not been able to beat this team, Randy. 6 tries so far since 2014 when we joined the Wolverine Conference, and they have had our number. They've won every way possible.
Yeah, that's something you just kind of got to work to get past that, and hopefully we can do that tonight.
Haynes, the fullback, gets the carry. He's got a 1st down. Nothing fancy there. They just go off right tackle and guard that time. And they've got it to about the 3-yard line where it will be 1st and goal Chieftains.
And, you know, one thing we didn't talk about is, you know, Kane's not playing quarterback right now, but he's not right in the middle of the defense either. You know, and that's where it really, really hurts us.
Yeah, Riley's got his jersey off, and he's on the bench here, near sideline behind the Trojans who are still in their jerseys. 1st and goal, Dwajak. Handoff, stumble, as the quarterback gave it off to Haynes. That caused a little bit of delay that time. No gain for the Chieftains. 2nd and goal, Dwajak. Inside 4 minutes to play in the first.
Boy, it kind of looked like Roman Robinson came through and tackled the quarterback first and then tackled the guy he handed it to.
Yeah, the kid Van Wagner also got through the line there. He's been playing a really solid game so far for the Trojans. Showing a lot of energy.
Van Wagner has played a good season to date. Quarterback under center. Hands off again and again. This time Jacob Thompson dives in to knock down the ball carrier. Maybe a yard out of that for Haynes. We'll call it 3rd and goal from about the 2 for the Chieftains. 3:15 to play in the first.
Well, I like the blitz from the Trojans. We seem to take the pressure off a little the last few plays, but it seems like those blitzes are working well. They're trying to confuse the Dwajak a little bit.
They've got Haynes, also number 40 and number 48 out there in the backfield on Third and goal. To the left side, twisting, turning. Did he reach across?
Boy, he really tried, didn't he?
He's down at about the half-yard line, number 48. Great effort there by Terrence Price. He tried to do the NFL quarterback thing, Randy, where he was near the goal line, tried to stretch that arm out. He was close, but it's a fourth and goal coming to the Chieftains.
Yeah, it did look close. He was definitely trying to stretch it over the goal line.
Jack, watch for a quick snack, quarterback sneak here, too.
Yeah, Trojans got to be careful. That's 3 good plays in a row. Let's see if they can put a cap on it here.
Ball on the left hash. Quarterback going to take it and push his way into the end zone for a Dwajak score. Zane McPhail. He did not fail that time. And Dwajak leads 6-0 as we await the extra point.
You know, I think that's a really good play in high school. They start to run that quarterback sneak, but then they just plow into the back of him with everybody in the backfield. And it's almost like, 3 extra blockers.
And now,
as long as you don't squish the quarterback.
That's true. David Collier will hold for Nate Judd, pretty good kicker. And Judd, it's blocked. Trojans got in there and blocked it. It looked like number 7 who got it, Connor Strudwick, who made the block, and we got a timeout. 2:16 to play, first quarter in Sturgis. On homecoming night, it's Dwajak 6, Sturgis.
Sports since 1974. Sportsorama, downtown Sturgis.
Dwajak takes advantage of great field position. They go 43 yards in 3 minutes and 9 seconds, scoring out a 4th and goal. Quarterback sneak from Zane McPhail, but to Connor Strudwick blocks the extra point, Randy, and we'll see that could come into play as this game pushes forward.
That could be a big play down the road.
Judd has his right foot into it. Good kick near sideline. Again over the shoulder and bobbled again by Thompson. He's got to find it. Picks it up at the 5-yard line. Broke one tackle at the 7, and he's just going to be tossed around, and a flag dropped as well before he's finally halted back inside the 5 at about the 4-yard line. Maybe a face mask here, Randy, but let's wait and see. It is a face mask against Dwajak. That's going to cost the Chieftains, and Sturgis is going to get some breathing room on that penalty.
The Trojans are going to get a break there, but, bottom line is they're going to have to start catching those kicks.
Thompson getting lectured by Coach Stewart on the sideline.
Oh, I'm sure he is.
Yeah, he's trying to catch it over the shoulder, right, guys? And you really have to square up and catch it in your gut.
So I'm sure that's something that'll be mentioned to him.
So Sturgis will start at their own 22 instead of their 7.
And that was a gift.
Yeah, it sure was. Sturgis on their third-string quarterback right now. And Jacob Thompson.
Yeah, well, almost looks like, I guess it is Thompson.
He's got Berkey to his right. Takes a snap and hands to Blake. Blake comes to the left side, bangs out a few, over the 25, close to the 26-yard line. Give him 4. 2nd and 6 upcoming for Sturgis trailing tonight, 6-0.
It almost looks like the offense right now is going to be Berkey and Thompson right and left.
Yeah, the passing game, it'll be interesting if we're able to get something downfield. Strudwick started to come to the line of scrimmage, and now he is slot right. 4 receivers dropping the handoff or the snap, and then quickly handing it after he gathered it to Berkey. There's no room there. Dwajak quick to the football again. No gain.
The timing on that was all thrown off because Thompson dropped the snap. They snapped it back to him and it went off his hands. He had to bend down and pick it up before he could hand it to Berkey.
When you talk, Jack, about backup quarterbacks and that sort of thing, one of the biggest things is handling the snap from the center and making sure you do that first.
Yeah, I think a lot of regular fans don't realize the relationship that needs to be developed between the center and the quarterback. It's very hard to get that snap nice and crisp every single time.
We roll inside a minute to play in the opening quarter from Sturgis High School. Thompson on the option. He's going to be buried and sacked back at the 20-yard line. A loss of 7. He got crushed back there. Number 69, Wyatt Bailey. And a starter that goes both ways. And Vicente Madison was also there. Sturgis is going to have to punt again deep in their own territory.
Yeah, and I'm not exactly sure what the play was there, but it looked like he was running the option, but there was not anybody to pitch to. So Thompson was kind of left to fend for himself.
Cosby had to get off the field quick. Trojans had 12 men. He did it. This time, better punt. It's going to be taken at the 48 of Sturgis, and a special teams open field tackle. That's Herman down there by Luke Herman after a return of about 8 yards.
There's Luke Herman making the most of his start tonight.
Fantastic effort by Herman. Time ran right into Wajak's hands with a lot of space, and Herman made the good open field tackle.
Nonetheless, Wajak will start a yard better than they did their last drive at the Sturgis 42-yard line. And this is probably going to be the final play of the opening quarter with 6.9 seconds to play here in it. Barring a penalty or Randy going running down the field. Ball's loose on the turf. Got it. It's a scrum right now out near midfield. And I think Wajak got back on it.
Yeah, Strudwick just drilled the quarterback.
And guys, that's going to do it. We'll talk about that play when we come back. End of the first quarter on homecoming night at Sturgis High School. After 12 minutes, it's Wajak on the road leading the Trojans 6-0. This is the new Fox Sports Radio 99.7 FM at 12:30 a.m.
Haywood PC is the name to know for business, commercial, and personal legal services. Visit their website at askhaywood.com. They're ready to listen. Ask Haywood PC. Offices in Sturgis and downtown Coldwater.
Tom Duke, Randy Pauls, Jack Shesky back at Sturgis High School. Audrey Sweet, Seth Falkenstein in our Fox studio south of town. Big hit by Connor Strudwick, and now it's 2nd and 17, going the other way to Wajak. Haynes, the fullback, gets the carry. Got what they lost a moment ago with Strudwick's big hit, and a couple more. Give him about 8 or 9, just shy of the 40-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 8 for the Chieftains.
Yeah, that Malachi Haynes is a great name. You know, so often, sports stars, they have those great names.
Like Willie Mays Haynes?
Randy Pauls,
Well, that's true.
You know how that goes. Jack Shesky.
3rd down. Man in motion, he gets the toss left side. That's number 4. Denny White, he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Great chase there from Roman Robinson and Connor Strudwick. They both chased him down here on the near sideline, Jack.
Fantastic by Roman Robinson. He was actually got a great block. He'll shake it and bring down the running back on the sweep at the last moment.
So they will lose a yard with a final spot back at the 41-yard line, and I think Wajak's going to punt on 4th and nearly 9. Nate Judd, number 89, he's the punter. He's out there, and he steps off beyond midfield.
I'd watch for the fake punt here. This is the area on the field that you see that sometimes.
One on the play clock. I don't think they're going to make it. We're going to get a delay game or a timeout just before that. Timeout called by Wajak. We'll keep it here with 10:39 to play in the first half. First timeout used by either team, and they needed it, Randy, or they were about to be ticketed for 5 yards.
Yeah, this is about that area of the field where you take a little bit of a chance, on the opponent's, 41-yard line, 42-yard line. You may test that little, fake punt and maybe try and run for a first down. But, we'll see.
Randy mentioned the middle school teams on the south end, socially distanced in cheers. That's where the band is as well, Jack.
Yeah, it's good to see at the school on the way to And for all the players, when you have that noise and have that support.
Yeah, it's a good idea because if they're sitting up in the bleachers, there's no way that they can do anything like social distancing, and it's terribly hard for anybody but a drummer to play an instrument with a mask on.
A lot of people think that social distancing is something new this year, but I've been trying to social distance from Randy for a long time. It didn't just start here in 2020.
I did a lot of social distancing in high school.
Well, they come out of the timeout and they're going to run a play and go for it. Passing and intercepted. Roman Robinson with his back to the ball at the 30. Cuts it back upfield, spun around, and dropped at the 38-yard line. Roman in the middle of the field. Randy picks off a pass.
Good job by the Trojans to read that get ready for Wozniak to be running a play. They could have very easily come out and assumed punt, and I think that would have been successful for Wozniak, but good job by the Trojan defense.
Well, it looked like, Jack, they were trying to catch the Trojan defense in the middle sleeping, and that wasn't going to happen.
It did not work. The epitome was yelling from the start of the play. Robinson led away.
1st and 10, the ball at the 38-yard line. It looks like Sturgis is going to call timeout. Let's break 30 seconds real quick. 10:31 to play till halftime. Sturgis with the ball back, but trailing Wozniak on homecoming. 6-0. This is the new Fox Sports Radio 99.7 FM and 12:30 a.m.
Can't get to the bank on time? Try Southern Michigan Bank and Trust. Their staff is still there to answer your questions and help with transactions as late as 7 p.m. when you call them or use the chat function in online banking. Want to bank even later? Try any of their 24/7 services like mobile deposit, bill pay, and online banking. Banking on your own time becomes a reality when you switch to Southern. Southern Michigan Bank and Trust, the right bank for life. Member FDIC.
Sounded Randy Paul's back in the box where Randy's doing the dancing queen. Jack Shesky has turned his back to it. 1st and 10 out of the Trojan timeout, their first of the half. Snap goes back to Thompson. He just wants to run. He says, give me the football and let me do my thing. And he's got a nice carry near sideline and a late flag thrown in as Thompson is tackled short of the first down at about the 46-yard line, getting made as it stands right now. Do you see anything, Jack?
It looks like that'll be unnecessary roughness on the play. Thompson, after his helmet flew up, put down. That's what I expect the call to be.
Now let's see if Mr. Shesky has it. Personal foul, grabbing the face mask, pulling that helmet off. Another 15-yarder, Randy, on the Chieftains.
Yeah, now we know how the helmet came off.
Close enough.
So the run will stand for 8 yards. They'll tack on 15. They're walking, and they're going to mark it all the way to the Wozniak 39-yard line. It's Sturgis' best field position of this opening half, trailing behind the visitors 6-0.
That's the second time Thompson's been the victim of a face mask so far.
Sturgis needs to gut it out and get some points on this drive right here, right now. Thompson from the gun. This time he's going to try to run wide left side. Cuts it back. He'll get positive yards. Book a tackle. Cuts it back inside. 20, 15, 10. That's a Trojan touchdown. And this game is tied at 6. But there's a flag back at the 41-yard line, so hold the celebration.
It looks like the flag was thrown by the head of F in the backfield, which is never a good sign.
It is a holding call. It is against Sturgis, and it's going to wipe out a 39-yard touchdown run from the sophomore Jacob Thompson.
And he was caught behind the line of scrimmage again. He backed up one step and saw a crease and took off through it. Maybe that's where the crease came from.
Randy, we haven't seen a Trojan that can shake and bake as well as this kid in a long time on a football field.
No, we saw his athleticism last year in basketball, and they were saying, he's going to be good when he gets on the football field, and we've seen that this year.
It's unfortunate, Jack. That was a taste of what Mr. Thompson is capable of right there.
Yeah, when you have an athlete like Thompson, anything can happen. It's really unfortunate, the holding call, but it is good to see that he followed his lead blockers instead of just running to the outside. He followed Berkey's lead block and had a good run. Let's hope we can see more of it.
The news is worse, too, because that's a spot foul. The flag was dropped 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage, so Sturgis is pushed all the way back into their own territory at the 49, and before they can snap on 1st and 22, Chance Stewart wants timeout. We're going to keep it here with 9:37 to play in the first half.
Play clock was winding down there. It got to 1, and Stewart had no choice but to call that timeout.
Got a new clock man up here tonight in the booth, Randy, our old friend. Seagull.
The Seagull. Mark Van Dozen, longtime Sturgis school employee. I think he's retired now, but yeah, he's doing a good job.
Mark likes to tell the story about when he was still working at this school. Jack Shesky was getting into some trouble in the hallway, and he grabbed me by the scruff of the neck and picked him up and took him to the principal's office. You remember that, Jack?
I don't quite recall it, but it wouldn't surprise me knowing how much of a hooligan I was in high school.
Well, I mean, the apple doesn't far fall from the tree, does it, Randy?
No, you would expect that out of one of Eric Shesky's kids.
1st and 22, Sturgis using their second time out of the half. Just their side of midfield, showing corner blitz. Little handoff, who tripped up. Another flag drop. Our side judge this time. See what this is all about. There was a gain maybe of a yard to midfield for Berkey before he got upended. Now they're going to say no gain.
But a penalty.
And we got motion. And they'll refuse this penalty and take the down and the no gain. So it brings up 2nd and 22. Now Sturgis needs the 29-yard line of Dowagiac for a first down.
Yeah, and this makes it really tough with the Trojans without that passing game.
Break the huddle now on 2nd down and 22. Trailing 6-0. Homecoming court will be announced, and we'll get a king and queen chosen at halftime. From the gun again, Thompson, this time looking to throw. Dodges one tackle. Heaves it downfield. Got a man. That's Cosby behind the defense. He bobbled and dropped it at the 14-yard line. It's incomplete.
Yeah, it looks like he was kind of spinning and trying to get his feet under him at the same time. But was not able to come down with it. Kind of gave it a great diving effort. But give Thompson credit for getting that pass off even.
Yeah, great goal by Thompson. The piece that Cosby may have lost it in the lights. He had the ball tracked. They were confused at the very.
Yeah, I think Randy was right, Jack. It looked like he kind of got turned around. And whenever you're turning around and moving downfield trying to locate a ball, vertigo sets in, does it not?
It sets in with me all the time.
3rd and long. Thompson on the snap, in the backfield, in trouble. Grabbed him by the shirt, and he's going to be tackled all the way back at the 34-yard line. A loss of 15 more, and Sturgis backpedaling instead of moving forward. They're going to have to punt as we will roll inside the 9-minute mark of the first half before that happens.
Yeah, that's tough. He was trying to get loose and make a play, but every time he spun around, he gave away 3 or 4 yards. They spun him around 3 or 4 times and then brought him down. It's a big loss.
After one quarter in Indiana, Lakeland trailing Fairfield 14-0. Here's the punt from Robinson, and it hits and takes a Trojan bounce. It'll go inside the 35 and stop dead at about the 33. That's where Dowagiac's offense sets up shop again, leading 6-0 on the road here in week 4.
That was actually a pretty good punt by the Trojans. Got themselves, at least down into Dowagiac territory.
Some good news for the Trojans. We see Riley Kane running back on the field at defensive end. He was in extreme pain just 10 minutes ago on the sideline, but it appears that he's patted back.
That could be one of those things, Jack, where that shoulder is just going to bother him on and off this year.
Ooh, man. That's a tough way to make a tackle.
Up the middle, look out, Haynes had some freedom, and then an open field tackle made out there by Luke Herman, the free safety who came up after a pickup of about 8.
Herman showed tonight that he can really make that open field tackle. He's brought down a couple people that look like they had some room to run.
Jack looks like one of the Dowagiac linemen is down right now. They're going to have to attend to him.
Scrum in the middle. Can't tell where he got hit, but it appears to be a knee injury.
Never good.
And I tell you what, Luke Herman making the most of his first career start today. He's had a really nice tackles, open field, and getting in the scrums.
You know, and Luke, not the biggest kid in the world either, 5'8", 140 pounds. Mixing it up with the big guys.
That's their center, guys. Peyton Collett, who's down, the 5'11", 225-pound senior.
And he's not happy.
No, they're going to have to help him
weight on that leg.
His left leg, either an ankle or a knee. His return at this point, you would think, would be questionable at best.
Yeah, he's not walking very well on that left leg. Let's hope and pray that he's all right.
Just a little bit of pink along the western horizon. Otherwise, lights are on, and it's just a, again, wonderful Friday evening here. Enjoy this one, Randy. We're not going to get many more of these, I wouldn't think, the rest of this year.
I would not expect too many more days in the 70s, you know, for a football game. A lot of people in shorts and T-shirts, and some of them even wearing masks.
Some in bras. I really like yours. That pink looks good on you.
I can pull it off.
2nd down and 2 following the injury. Oh, they dropped a snap right after they lost their center. Sturgis thinks they're on it. Let's see if the officials agree. Yes, they do.
Riley Kane coming off the field. He may have stuck his nose in there and got that one.
Not sure who got that. They dropped the football just as soon as they picked up out of the pile, Jack, but Sturgis has it in great field position at the 41 of the Chieftains.
Yeah, it looked like Sturgis was running the blitz, but Kane and I believe Strudwick was in there, getting their nose on the ball. Great effort by the Surgeons.
You know, it looks like Kane's kind of playing one arm. You know, I wouldn't expect to see much on offense, but because his left arm's kind of hanging, but, you know, able to do some things one-armed.
He's not out there on offense. Blake Berkey gets the handoff from Thompson, and Blake lowers his pads and gets it inside the 40 to about the 38-yard line, maybe the 37. Give me 4. 2nd and 6 for Sturgis. Trojans trying to punch one in and tie and maybe take the lead before halftime. Our text lines are open if you're listening or watching, tuning in tonight. 269-625-2095. Randy and I will give you a shout out here from the stadium. Berkey again with a handoff. This time he stood up after a gain of 1 to about the 37-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd and still a little testy for the Trojans, but you would think 4-down territory for Coach Chance Stewart right now.
And actually, if you're watching it on YouTube also, give us the text and let us know that you can hear it and how it's working on that.
269-625-2095.
I just saw a plane go by with a banner that said that.
Sturgis got to hurry. They're running out of time here. And the play clock, well, they reset it. They give him another 10 seconds. Option, pitch. And that's Kane that pitched it to Thompson. And Thompson is driven to the turf at about the 33-yard line by Brian Paredes. He got about 4, and it's going to bring up 4th down and 2 for Sturgis. So Kane, he did get out there, Jack.
He did, and you can tell that he's showing some deftness to that right arm, but this is just an incredible effort to see from the senior that he's clearly in a little bit of pain, but he still wants to go out there. He told Coach Finnerman, I can play, I want to be on the field.
Sturgis at the 33, they need the 31 for a 1st down from the shotgun, and Kane's going to keep it. Spun around and flag dropped again, that far side judge. His hanky has been lucid here in the last quarter.
Boy, it just scares me to death when Kane's running the ball right now.
I don't think he's got enough for a 1st down. It's not going to matter because it's a holding call against Sturgis. So if the spot will not give them the 1st down, then Dwajak can refuse this, and I would think take over on downs.
Now, it looked like Strudwick laid on a big block for Kane, and they may have called him for blocking the back, but I didn't see it myself.
Head coach Randy Brooks wants to know, hey, if that's not a 1st down on the carry, then we'll take the football right here and now.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like it is either.
Officials still looking it over, but they've not signaled anything to us upstairs. They're going to bring the chains in, that's why. Doug Van Meter and his crew. Doug in his 209th year as the Trojan chain gang.
Nice confirmation there was a block in the back call on Strudwick. Coach Stewart not very happy about that one.
And they will refuse that anyway, so it didn't matter penalty or not. He was short of the first down, and Dwajak is going to keep it. 6 minutes, 11 seconds to play in the first half, and Dwajak takes over on downs at their own 32-yard line.
Boy, and this is a really, really important series of downs for the Trojan defense right now. They cannot give up another touchdown before halftime.
I agree. Don't want to go down 2 scores. They were able to climb that mountain in week 1 at Three Rivers, trailing 14-0, and trailing almost the entire night before the final score in the final minute to win it. Motion man gets the toss right side. Picked up by Sturgis. Trojans have it again.
Boy, and that was really close to being a score, too.
Number 85, that's Pritchard making the start tonight. Brecken Pritchard, the junior 5'10", defensive end. And Jack, the Trojans have forced another turnover.
Yeah, what a great defensive play by the Trojans. You also love to see Pritchard pick up the ball so effectively. I think he picked that ball up better than most NFL players.
Yeah, I was thinking, we need to pass him the ball if he's going to pick it up that easily.
That's got to be driving Coach Randy Brooks crazy, Randy, as Sturgis will take over at the Dwajak 22-yard line, the best starting position tonight offensively.
As we've seen, Dwajak's put it on the ground a few times. They've been able to secure it before, but not that time.
Little toss to Thompson. Thompson in trouble. One hand, he's carrying that ball like a loaf of bread. Better be careful or he's going to give the ball back. Sturgis just can't get any freedom in the backfield, Randy. He loses about 9 yards.
And he's a young player, and he's going to have to learn that there's a point when you need to get on the ground.
This is zip ball. Coach Damon Knapp almost had a heart attack seeing the ball fly around that much.
Well, if he keeps spinning around, every time he spins it around, he loses about 4 yards.
We've got another injured Chieftain, so stop and play right now will give us a chance to send out some greetings. Lucas Burr listening in tonight. Lucas, appreciate you listening in. And the Trojans' #1 fan, Jacob Haas, watching and listening tonight from Crestview Hills, Kentucky.
Cincinnati suburb, isn't it? Isn't that pretty close to Cincinnati?
Jacob's calling it homecoming the social distancing way.
Uh-oh, another leg injury for Dwajak.
Yeah, that's number 83 this time that they're helping off. That's Stuart Smith, the starting right tight end for the Chieftains. So he'll be escorted to that far side.
We have a text from north of town here, and the text just reads, Seagull, with exclamation points.
What does that mean exactly? Is that some sort of code, like Da Vinci Code type thing that we got to figure something out?
I mentioned it, that he was here, and my wife Claudia is a good friend with Mark, and was happy to hear about him.
2nd and long for Sturgis back at the 30-yard line of Dwajak. Handoff Thompson. Oh, man, did he hit the linebacker coming in. But number 40 just won't let him go. What a first half that Brian Paredes, Jack, is having for that Dwajak defense. Not much of a game there.
Yeah, Thompson ran into a brick wall, and I love the effort trying to stay up, but you may want to learn a little bit to hit the ground a little fast, so you don't want to see him get hurt when the Chieftains are piling on.
Ryan's brother was big on the defense last year, Randy, inside linebacker, Lamberto Paredes. And, boy, he's picked up where his brother left off. Apparently it is 3rd and still about 18 for Sturgis.
Yeah, that defense runs in the family.
Inside 5 minutes to play first half. 6-0 Dwajak. Flags. Some movement, it looks like, again, for the Trojans. They'll back them up 5 more on a procedure penalty. It'll bring up 3rd down and 23 now, Randy.
And that was that same play that they bring Roman Robinson across, maybe take the snap. But both times they've done that, they've got called for motion.
Pushes it back to the 34-yard line. Chance Stewart, who's calling the plays, he can't be pleased with this last couple of series where his team had good field position, but so far unable to take advantage. Thompson going to keep it and try to run around the right end. But man, they're just a slew of white jerseys. They are just stacking up on the run right now, Randy. No gain, 4th down for Sturgis. Might have lost now with a final spot a yard or two. They're going to spot it at the 34-yard line. Trojans need the 13 for a first down. It's 4th and 21.
Yeah, that's Dwajak is just putting 9 men in the box and saying, okay, you're running it, we know it, we're going to stop you.
And the call here, Jack, is to try to pin him deep. Sturgis, the play clock is down to 0. And now they restarted again with 8. Same thing they did a moment ago. High snap, pulled down though by Kane, who's back out there. High punt, and it hits in the end zone for a touchback. He was trying to pin Dwajak inside the 10, and still they'll bring it out to the 20. And still 4:03 and 2 timeouts left for the Chieftains here in the first half.
Yeah, that was not a good offensive series after getting that turnover for the Trojans, but time for the defense to come up big again.
Jack, is starting to feel a little bit like opening night. Trojans just kind of stubbing their toe here and there, but they're right in this thing, only a 6-point difference.
Yeah, the Trojans are hitting hard and they're running their plays, but there seems to be a lot of confusion pre-snap. If they could minimize those pre-snap penalties, they'd be in much better shape.
1st and 10, Chieftains at their 20. They've won 6 straight against the Sturgis team. Malachi Haynes gets the call. Somehow he broke free from about 3 Trojans at the line of scrimmage. Tries to the right side before he slipped and falls over there for a loss of a yard.
Yeah, he did the same thing Thompson did. Try to make something out of nothing, and you end up losing yardage. We've seen when Thompson has been able to, get loose on a couple of those and have a big run, but, there's times when you just, like Jack said, need to get on the ground.
Lucas V.S. listening tonight from Lansing. Good to hear from you, Lucas. Inside 3:20 now before the snap comes here in the first half. Quarterback going to keep it. McPhail. Not much sledding there. Got past the original line of scrimmage and a couple more. It brings up 3rd down and 8. 3rd and 8. Sturgis can stop them here, Randy. They should get good field position again before the half can come to an end.
It's interesting. We're in a new booth this year here at the home games, and
I like it.
We're close to the assistant coaches for Sturgis. They're pretty animated in there.
You expect that. They want to win. They've come to say, you know what, the losing has got to end.
We're farther away from the food is the disappointing part.
Yeah, well, there's no food this year, so try again. 3rd and long, and McPhail, there was nothing there. He dropped it, and then he grabbed it, and he was down. Lost a yard, goes back to the 20. It'll bring up 4th and about 10. Sturgis with 1 timeout left. They're not going to stop the clock here. They're going to keep that in their back pocket, Jack, if they need it here for the final 2 minutes.
Yeah, Chieftains really gave the Trojans golden platter there, an unforced error. Let's see if Thompson can get this punt and try and do something with it.
Plenty of time, still 10 on the play clock as they get their special teams unit out there. Nate Judd is the punter, and Thompson is back just beyond midfield to return it for Sturgis. 3 on the play clock. Got to get the snap off, and they aren't going to do it, I don't think. Or we got a timeout, the Wajak. Yes, we do. Timeout, Chieftains. We'll break 30. 1:57 to play. First half from Sturgis High School on homecoming night 2020. It's the Chieftains still on top, 6-0 on the new Fox Sports Radio, 99.7 FM at 12:30 a.m.
At Gaybridge & Company, we're passionate about business. Gaybridge & Company, CPAs, financial advisors, and consultants. On the web at gaybridgeco.com. That's GABridgeco.com. See the local business pros at Gaybridge & Company, 127 West Chicago Road in downtown Sturgis. Serving you is what they do.
Down to Randy Pauls back at the corner of Congress and Vinewood. Jack Shesky on the sideline. Audrey Sweet, Seth Falkenstein on Fox Studios tonight. And we're sending out greetings as well to Patrick, Cassidy, and Finn watching the YouTube feed. The state of Washington. Ball got behind the punter. He goes back and gets it. A high kick. Got off a nice one. Runner just better be careful. They let it hit and roll. They had an opportunity, didn't they, Randy, to grab it and run with it? But it's down at the Sturgis 47-yard line.
I'll tell you what, there were like 6 Trojans around it, not a Dowagiac player in sight, but they just let it bounce around.
And one of those Trojans, Jack, had his back to the ball. That's usually not a good formula in a punt formation.
Yeah, very scary for the Trojans. It seemed like there was a lot of confusion because every player thought that the punter may have dropped the snap, but he got it off and it came very close to hitting the Trojan right in the back.
Final spot is the Trojan 46-yard line, so they've got to go 54 yards. They've got 1:47 seconds and 1 timeout at their disposal, trailing 6-0. Snap goes to Keene, back out there. Toss on a quick screen, right side, breaking a tackle. Robinson, Roman stretches forward, shy of midfield. But he picks up about 4 yards. Sturgis in a hurry up right now, Randy, with their offense.
Yeah, I think that was a good play. It loosens him up, gets Robinson the ball out in space instead of behind, a whole bunch of people down in the box. And he was able to pick up 4.5 yards.
Down to 80 seconds and ticking here in the first half. Second down, about 6 for the Trojans, right at midfield. Snap goes back. Another little hitch, left side caught. Blake Berkey stumbles ahead, or is that Robinson again?
I think it's Robinson.
This is Robinson.
Robinson has it close to a first down. Right at the 44-yard line. And Sturgis is going to use their final timeout of the half here with 1 minute and a second to play in it. They'll have to draw up some plays. We're going to keep it here.
I think they ought to ask for a measurement. That ball, where the spot is, looks like a first down.
Yeah, the clock would have stopped with a first down.
And now they're giving them the first down.
I love the play calls by the Trojans. Just do those quick double passes. When the quarterback and the receivers aren't on the same page, having trouble completing passes, you just need those little quick ones. Get your confidence back.
Right, and as Randy said, it's a great way to loosen the defense up and get them from stacking about 9 men in the box, which is what they were doing there for a couple series against the Trojan running game. 6-0 Dowagiac. Trojans their final timeout of the half.
If the referees would have given them the first down at the beginning, the Trojans may not have had to call the timeout there.
Remember last year, Randy, at Dowagiac, the kind of snafu we had right at the end of the first half when the Trojans thought they had a first down, first and goal, and the officials didn't see it. Jimmy Lamb called timeout. Ended up he didn't need to. He wanted the timeout back. The officials said nope. And we weren't able to punch it in. That was a turning point in that game. First and 10 Sturgis. Ball on the 44 of the Chieftains. 61 ticks to play in the quarter. Game. Deep down the sideline looking for Robinson. He overthrew it. Robinson gave a good effort about the 3, but that ball's incomplete. There were 2 Chieftains in double coverage there.
I'm telling you, came through that ball pretty close to 50 yards in the air. That landed right down by the goal line.
Showing Jack that, again, that injury not his throwing arm.
Yeah, the injury's not on his throwing arm, but that can still throw him off a little. I still love the play call. The Chieftains know they have to respect the Trojan passing game now. Can't just be punching.
Second down and 10. 3 receivers, all to the wide left side for the Trojans. Single back is Berkey. He's blocking, but he blew that assignment. In trouble, Keene coughs up the football. He did kind of throw it haphazardly. I guess they're calling it incomplete. That was almost picked, and if he catches that thing, he's gone.
Paredes just had that with nothing but grass between him and the end zone. And he just kind of went off his fingers and dropped it.
That could have been a cross between a fumble or an interception right there.
Either way, it was going to be 6 points.
But he looked like he may have been distracted by his own sideline. They were all cheering so close to him, but he dropped the ball.
He panicked.
Third and 10 Sturgis.
Why is everybody yelling at me?
A defensive battle here in the opening half. Sturgis down to 5. They got to hurry up on the play clock. 2. Get the snap off. Rolling right. Keene. Looking. Gonna have to get rid of it, and he throws it to the boundary out of bounds. Looking for Connor Thomas, who's been fairly quiet here in the first half, the sophomore receiver. It'll bring up 4th and 10. Now, if you're Sturgis, Randy, do you punt? Dowagiac has a timeout. There's still 40 seconds left.
I don't think so. I think you got to go ahead and try and get something. Well, it looks like the Trojans are going to punt.
Yeah, Keene is going deep. in punting formation here, back to his 44-yard line. But the Wajak doesn't have anybody deep, so they're not going to buy it because Trojans are going to punt this ball. But Kane does exactly that. It's high, it's deep.
And he launches once.
Yeah, it goes in, sailing into the front left corner of the north end zone. And the Wajak will bring it out at their 20 with 34 seconds to play in the first half.
Okay.
6-0.
If Kane always punted that way, Webb wouldn't be the punter. He absolutely launched a spiral.
We'll tell you who the homecoming court is, and Jack will be talking to the Queen once she's crowned.
Can he talk to the King?
Did he practice that at work today, Randy, by interviewing you, saying, okay, how do you
Jack,
feel?
you want to take that question?
Randy was unfortunately not there. I actually had my entire lunch period blocked off for interviewing, and he bailed out.
Randy, oh goodness. Handoff, Haynes. Looks like the Wajak's getting to take the 6-0 lead in the locker room as the clock runs. They do have a timeout, but I don't think Randy Brooks is going to use it here. They don't have to snap again if they don't want to. We're down to 18 seconds to play in the first half.
Yeah, they don't look in any hurry to get this one off.
I'm going to bring you another edition of This Week in High School Sports from the MHSAA after a 1-minute halftime timeout. And down to 5 seconds, the Wajak looking to the bench, and Coach Brooks says, let's take this to the locker room. We've reached halftime on homecoming night 2020 in Sturgis. At the break, it is the Wajak in a tightly contested ball game so far. Halfway through, leading the Trojans 6-0. A 1-minute timeout. Back at the half after this on the new Fox Sports Radio 99.7 FM and 12:30 a.m.
We are so happy to have the new Jim Steichman Chevrolet Buick GMC. And Jim is here. Jim, what's going on with Buick and GMC right now?
We got our new shipments of Buick and GMCs in. Over 35 of them. Listen to these offers. Enclave, $8,500 off. Light-duty Sierra, $8,100 off. And the Denali Terrain, up to $7,800 off. Come see us today. Jim Steichman Chevrolet Buick and GMC right here in Sturgis.
If you're a propane customer in West Michigan and the surrounding areas, Corrigan Propane has a great offer for you. Lock in the lowest propane price of the year right now with no contract and no money down. All it takes to join the Corrigan family is a handshake. So get off the rate hike roller coaster and take advantage of this limited time offer while supplies last. Visit buycorriganpropane.com for details. Corrigan, family owned and operated for more than 58 years, where family service is the difference.
Halftime at Sturgis High School, homecoming court beginning to be announced here. And before we send it to This Week in High School Sports, let's tell you who they are from the senior class and give them a little love here. On the boys' side, for the homecoming court 2020, Tyler Bohach, Mike Berkey, Xander Cosby, Brady Heck, Thomas Karowski, Javier Lopez, David Oristiada, and Brady Webb. On the girls' side, Lexani Alejo Hernandez, Josie Burt, Emma Bromstetter, Amy Chen, Andrea Holtz, Allison Landis, Allison Yesh, and Mia Junker. Congratulations to all of them, and we'll hear from the Queen in just a few moments. Right now, we're going to hear from John Johnson and the good folks at the MHSAA with another edition of This Week in High School Sports right here on the new Fox Sports Radio 99.7 FM and 12:30 a.m.
Union wins, disconcerting actions, and stepping up. It's all next on This Week in High School Sports. Hi again, everyone. I'm John Johnson, and welcome to This Week in High School Sports. Union wins. That's something they haven't been able to say on Tremont Street in Grand Rapids since August of 2015, as the Redhawks brought their 45-game losing streak to a close Friday night at historic Hausman Field in Grand Rapids with a 59-57 win over Wyoming. Union quarterback Tommy Stevens was 9 of 12 for 189 yards and 4 touchdowns, and he rushed for 133 yards on 19 carries and 3 scores. 3 of Stevens' touchdown passes went to Jeremy Pittman, who had 3 catches for 84 yards. Pittman scored 5 touchdowns in all. He had 63 yards rushing and a score, and he returned a kickoff for a touchdown.
It just shows you if a kid buys in, an administration buys in, and coaching staff buys in, and you work together, whether you're rich, white, black, poor, kids need expectations, and kids are kids. And I'm super proud of our kids for what they've done.
That's first-year Union head coach Don Fellows talking with MHSAA Network affiliate WMAX in Grand Rapids after the game. Fellows moved to Union this year after a successful run at Grand Rapids Christian. Our This Week game balls go out to the girls golf team at Birmingham Marion, which won the Oakland County Division I championship last week. Senior Shannon Kennedy took medalist honors by 5 strokes. And the Berrien Springs boys tennis team cruised to the Berrien St. Joseph Conference title last week. Corbin Gamble in number 4 singles, Adam Johnson and Eric Beelan in number 1 doubles, Zach Nanfelt and Brandon Tripp in number 2 dubs, and Nate Geisler and Xavier Hack in number 4 doubles, all won flight titles. Back with more in a moment. You're listening to This Week in High School Sports.
Everyone in sports is in search of the elusive perfect game, making every shot, completing every pass, striking everyone out, getting each call right. That's right, game officials enjoy the competition and seek perfection just like the players do. If you still have that competitive streak and want to help kids by giving back, maybe becoming a high school official is for you. To register, log on to MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the values and values of educational athletics.
Our weekly Be the Referee segment takes a look into the fine art of officiating with Sam Davis.
Among the rule changes in high school football for the 2021 school year is an adjustment in the penalty assessed to the defense for disconcerting acts and sounds. Among the gamesmanship that sometimes takes place near the line of scrimmage at the start of play, defensive players have been known to make sounds or act in a manner which otherwise might distract an offensive player waiting for the snap signal. Previously, the most egregious of these actions would be penalized 15 yards for unsportsmanlike conduct. But beginning this year, the disconcerting act foul is a 5-yard penalty. The change in the rule actually makes it more likely that this kind of behavior will be flagged and may eventually lead to a reduction of this kind of activity.
Thanks, Sam. You can be a referee. Go to the MHSAA website now to register. The closer today celebrates the first MHSAA champions of the 2020-21 school year. West Iron County in Division II and Negaunee in Division I claimed the titles in the weather-delayed Upper Peninsula Girls Tennis Finals. For the Wycons, which topped Munising by a single point to earn top team honors last Thursday, they took that big step up to the top after placing second the past 3 seasons. Callie Applin in number 2 doubles, Aurora Dahl in number 3 singles, and the number 1 doubles team of Tori Bosek and Madison Baruti claimed flight championships. For Bosek, it was her 4th straight year that she had been part of a title-winning doubles team. The Division I finals took place Monday this week, and after a 1-year absence from the throne, Negaunee reclaimed the Division I top spot to give the Miners championships in 6 of 7 years. Lexi Mason at number 3 and Anika Turbo at number 4 claimed singles championships for Negaunee, and the Miners captured 3 of the 4 double flights, including 3 in a row and undefeated 3 seasons in a row for the number 1 team of Morgan Carlson and Caitlin Lammy. Mason also had a perfect 19-0 record this year. Negaunee's 21 points outdistanced Menominee by 7, and in moving up to Division I after capturing 4 straight team crowds in Division II, Ishpeming Westwood was 3rd. You can read all about the UP Girls Tennis Finals on the second half page of the MHSAA website. Don't forget, you can watch high school sports on MHSAA TV. Over 700 games are available online this week in football, boys soccer, and girls volleyball. Check it all out at MHSAA TV. You've been listening to This Week in High School Sports, a production of the MHSAA Network. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm John Johnson. We'll see you next time.
Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but someday you'll need legal representation. When that day comes, Spurge, Chesky, Reed, and Beamer PC will be there to assist you. Their attorneys are experienced in business law, creditors' rights, divorce and child custody, criminal defense, personal injury, estate planning, and more. Free consultations are available for personal injury cases. Spurge, Chesky, Reed, and Beamer PC, downtown Sturgis. There when you need them. Call 651-2445. Online at sturgislawfirm.com.
From their first day of kindergarten to that march through commencement and into adulthood, Sturgis Public Schools was there, teaching, encouraging, building that bridge towards a brighter future. From the classroom to the athletic fields, proud to be a Trojan. Ask one of the thousands of alumni that have advanced and achieved. It all started with Sturgis Public Schools. That tradition continues, learning, leading, and serving together. Sturgis Public Schools. We are for you. More at sturgisps.org.
Tom Duke, welcome back to the broadcast booth. The home court 2020 continuing to be introduced. It's a rather big group, and they're getting a moment in the sun here at halftime. The court includes many Trojan football players, by the way. And we'll get the announcement of the King and Queen in a matter of moments. Right now, it's time for us to check back this week in Sturgis Trojan varsity sports. Let's start last Saturday with the Trojan boys tennis team finished second at the conference championships at Vicksburg. Just behind champion Allegan, the Trojans had two conference champions, Sam Marine at third singles and Aiden Whitehead with Justin Erblow at third doubles. Earning second place was Walter Ebert. At second singles, Tyler Bohach, along with Grayson Swihart at first doubles, and Ian Earl and Luke Frost at fourth doubles. Earning third place, Matt Wines at first singles, and at fourth singles, Garrett Meyer. Trojan volleyball team over the weekend went to Coldwater and went 3-0 and won the Coldwater quad meet on Saturday. The Lady Trojans beat Battle Creek Central 3-0. Host Coldwater 2-1, and Jonesville 2-1. Addison Nettleman was named the quad MVP. She had 12 aces, 21 kills, 32 digs, 4 assists. Erica Reed had 23 kills on the day, 23 digs and 7 aces. Harley Bloom had 70 assists, 4 aces and 2 kills. Megan Heck chipped in with 20 kills, 3 assists, and 4 digs. They're about to set Thomas Karowski, the Trojan All-Stater. He's the king. Looks good with that gray suit, blue tie. He dresses a lot better than his dad does. Thomas has got that sweat. And now the homecoming queen 2020. Amy Chen. Congratulations to Amy. Randy thought it was going to be him for a moment. So we'll let them get the photos in, and then Jack can check in with the winner here in a matter of moments. So congratulations, Thomas Karowski and Amy Chen. Let's go back last weekend. The Trojan boys soccer team went across the state line at LaGrange and beat the Lakers 3-1. Esteban Lopez had 2 goals for the Trojans. Christian Luna had the other goal in that win. On Monday, postseason ended for the girls' golf team after a nice season. They had the Division II regional tournament hosted by Yankee Springs Golf Club up in Wayland outside Grand Rapids. The Lady Trojans shot a .385, but missed qualifying for the state finals by a paltry 2 strokes, Randy. That hurts when you're that close. When it comes down to 2 strokes over the course of the whole day.
Over 4 players or 5 players, they score 4, but over 4 players, 18 holes. You always think, where could I have saved 2 strokes? Well, 100 places.
Sturgis was led on the day by the senior trio of the Alexis DeVries, who shot an 89, Carly Sanford a 90, and also Madison Percival with a 96. Jack Shesky's with a king and queen. Let's set it downstairs, Jack.
All right, I'm here with the homecoming king and queen, Thomas Kowalski and Amy Chen. I'm just going to ask you guys a few questions. I guess we'll start off with, first of you, Thomas, what are you going to miss most about Sturgis High School?
I'm definitely going to miss the long car rides coming here with my dad in the morning, about 50 minutes every day, and hearing hearing the messages here. Criticism, time sometimes, but mostly not on the way home after long games. And just playing on the Friday nights in front of the fans, and the great support that Sturgis has had for me for the 4 years.
That's awesome. 20 things that I missed. Your dad in basketball. Amy, what are you going to miss the most with Sturgis? I'm definitely going to miss the clubs the most. I joined a lot my freshman year, and I'm so happy I did because I've always heard about how much people regret. But this club, I met so many new people and friends, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
That's so awesome. And now one more. What are you guys most excited for next year? I'll go to you first, Amy.
I hope to attend a university in a big city, and coming from a small town, I've always yearned to be in a big city where there's tons of people, tons of more diversity in the town, I guess, because I was going to socialize with more Asian, so I'm really excited for that to happen.
That's great. And you, Thomas, what are you most excited for? I hope to find a good university where I can fit and continue to grow as a basketball player and in the classroom and just be successful and plan for a good future ahead of me. That's awesome. Well, congratulations to you both. It's a good accomplishment, but you're probably meant to do even much bigger things. Congratulations.
Jack, thank you. Nice job down there. And good to hear from Thomas and Amy, the king and queen here in 2020. Congrats to them.
And we know Jack and Thomas have mixed it up on the basketball court a little bit. Jack down there talking with Coach Karowski right now, but he and Thomas have mixed it up in practices and things like that. So they've gone head to head on the basketball floor.
Absolutely. Let's head back to the discussion, Randy, about the Trojan golf team. We just missed out. We mentioned their top three scores. Coach Ken Shaw said his team played well and arguably the best region in the state in 2020, which saw 10 teams of that regional shoot below 400. Wow. That's some good play on the course.
Absolutely. If you can keep everybody, under 100, that's the secret is getting those third and fourth players to also keep their scores down. Your best golfers are usually going to go out and shoot a pretty good score. You want your third and fourth players to maybe knock a few strokes off and maybe get you qualified.
Also on Monday night, it was a good road trip for the Trojan boys tennis team as they beat Kalamazoo Christian up in Kazoo 8-love. Head coach George Earl gave a special nod out to Preston Gump for coming up from the JV team to play 4 singles for the varsity and getting a win. He also sent out good vibes to his first doubles team of Tyler Bohach and Grayson Swihart for overcoming 4 match points against them to get the win. Now that's when you're back against the wall, not once, twice, 3, 4 times.
Yeah, that's when it's that next point and I go home, and you suck it up and you get that point, and then you get a little momentum. You knock off a few of those, and sometimes you can deflate the other team and come back and get that victory.
Also, boys soccer team in action here at the Eastwood Field on Monday night, and they tied visiting Otsego 2-2 in a Wolverine Conference match. Esteban Lopez and Christian Luna each scored the goals for the Trojans Monday night. On Tuesday, Trojan swimming team hosting Allegan and falling to the visiting Tigers in the pool. Sturgis sophomore Brianna Haggerty, though, was first in the 100 backstroke in a season best time of 1:11:52. She was also second in the 50 freestyle and just missed a season best time in the event. Teammate Katie Strasser was second in both the 100 freestyle and 100 breaststroke. Randy Boland and Olivia Faze were third and fourth, respectively, in the 200 IM. Also Tuesday, cross-country teams went to Three Rivers and split their meets against the Wildcats. Trojan boys lost 25-34 and were led by Tremaine Brown and Matt Toner, who finished first and second, respectively. Tyler Norton and Seth Luigi of Three Rivers came in third and fourth. In the girls' race, Sturgis won 24-32. Mia Yonker of Sturgis first overall. Teammate Corin Whitcomb was fourth. Sturgis volleyball team hosting Edwardsburg Tuesday night and falling at home to visiting Lady Eddies 3-1, 25-14, 26-28, 19-25, and 24-26. Anita Nettleman, 15 digs, 3 aces, 2 kills. Erica Reed, 11 kills, 13 digs, 3 aces. Riley Wanamaker, 4 aces, 7 digs, and a kill. Sturgis JV team lost Edwardsburg as well in 2 games on Tuesday night. On Wednesday, boys tennis team, how about this, Randy, wins the regional title here at home on the Augsburger courts, and they go on to the state meet next weekend. It was a big night all the way around. Sturgis beat Niles in the first round 7-1, and then Lakeshore 5-3 in the finals. The Division III finals now are set for October.
I mean, all we do is plug it back in.
Tonight the band closes with I Want It That Way, recorded by the Backstreet Boys and featuring soloists Eliza Davis, Alex Smith, and Brenda Aquino. Reaching number 1 in 25 different countries, this well-known tune is the perfect fit for every after-school playlist.
Just telling him there's like a way, put something off to the side so that you don't, you just drag it over the score or something, or somehow.
The color guard for tonight's performance is choreographed and instructed by Amy Claire and Michelle Clark. The percussion is instructed by Jessica Haler. The winds are instructed by Elizabeth Whitehead, Sarah Ebert, Brandon Martinez, and Jesse Rodriguez. The color guard captains are Alyssa Sotelo and Aubrey Mueller. And their drum majors are Sophia Merchant and Ethan Clark. The Sturgis Band would like to thank the band boosters and parents, Sturgis Public Schools administration and staff, school board, and the community for the tremendous support that is shown to the band. Once again, your Sturgis Trojan Marching Band.
34-0 to go to 2-2 on the season. That's enough to light some fireworks off. You know, we really need to tell people those are not gunshots that you're hearing in the background. Those are fireworks, and they're really nice fireworks. I'm sure Mark Adams got those out of his private stash, and nice little display going on here at Sturgis High School. The marching band who just put on a great performance marching off. We take a 1-minute timeout. When we return, Randy, Jack, and I get set to start the third quarter. Sturgis trailing on homecoming night at the half to the Wajak, 6-0. This is Sturgis Game Night 2020 on the new Fox Sports Radio, 99.7 FM and 1230 AM.
You know texting while driving is dangerous. That's not new information. Yet most people admit to doing it anyway. Drivers are 23 times more likely to be involved in a car accident while texting. Know the facts and wait to text. The danger is real and it applies to you. Auto Owners Insurance. The no problem people. Information provided by Virginia Tech Transportation Institute.
This is Jeff Rizzo. Call Ayers Oak Insurance in Sturgis today. Ayers Oak Insurance,
serving Michigan and Indiana since 1941.
Hey Tristan, what are you writing in that big notebook?
I'm drafting my Sportsurama All-Star Fantasy team. Take a look.
You've got some pretty big names there, but I don't see...
Football, basketball, baseball, soccer. My fantasy team has stars from every sport. It's just like Sportsurama. We've got sports here for every season. Winning starts at Sportsurama.
That's nice, Tristan, but there's one name I don't see.
Whose?
Mine.
Sorry, bro. I ran out of roster spots.
Sportsurama in downtown Sturgis. Nothing but sports since 1974.
Well, that was quite a display. Jack Shesky, if the Trojans' offense can match the fireworks that we just saw go off a moment ago, they're in good shape here in the second half.
Yeah, you'll never see it. And the biggest advantage that you have on homecoming is just all of that energy and all of that emotion. You know, the Chieftains have hurt themselves a lot in this first half with unforced errors, and that's probably something they're going to fix at halftime. So we'd like to see the Trojans minimize on their errors because they're probably not going to get as many breaks this half as we did in the first half.
You know what? I'm going to rat on my partner here. We were watching a very nice firework display. It went on probably 3 to 5 minutes, and my partner all of a sudden went, you know, this would be a great picture to put on our website, and he grabbed his camera just as the last one went out.
Timing is everything.
It is everything.
I got none.
We got no picture.
Checking the Fox out-of-town scoreboard. Halftime on Thunder Country 105.5. Fairfield shutting out Lakeland 22-0. And halftime, 8-man football in Michigan. Randy Colin over Athens 55-0.
You know, it may be time for Colin to go ahead and play with 11 people because they are making a mockery out of that eight man.
They're hurting some folks, and
plus they're dressing like a bunch of people.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. I think they like it in 8-man though right now. There's no question about that.
There's certainly a place for that, and you know, it's given Colin the opportunity to have a football team in some years when maybe they wouldn't have been able to.
Now, Dowagiac won a toss and deferred, so they're going to get the football to start this second half of play. Randy, as we alluded to, the defense was there for Sturgis in the first half, no doubt about it. They've got to find a way to start picking up yardage consistently in this second half.
Well, I think, you know, right there at the end of the first half, Jack said something, you know, they started opening it up just a little bit. You know, nothing real risky, you know, no passes over the middle or anything like that, but, you know, little quick passes that maybe spreads out Dowagiac's defense just a little bit. Maybe we can find some better creases running if everybody's not standing within the tackles.
Jack, as a former player, what kind of things did you think about going back into the locker room? You've got that 15-minute, a little longer tonight with the homecoming stuff, but what are you thinking about?
You know, the homecoming halftime was always a little antsy in the locker room because I was always waiting to get back out there. But I would say the biggest thing in the locker room is just self-reflecting on what you can do and not worrying about the rest of the team. And I know that Coach Stewart also has the same philosophy. I'm guessing that every player did a little bit of introspection at halftime.
So when you're in the locker room, say, and you're all sitting there and you're trying to, you know, look within yourself to see what you can do, is the coach, you know, yelling it up a little bit, or what's he doing?
I can't imagine the coaches weren't yelling a bit, but as a player, the most important thing is just stay composed and you get back on the field and do the best you can. You don't want to get too high if you're up. You don't want to get too low if you're down. It's a whole new half, especially when it's only 6-0 going into the second half. Trojans still are really in this game.
Well, number 15, Leandro Morqueco, who did not get a chance to kick in the first half, is going to start the second half by doing just that. He's got it teed up, left hash. He'll drop back about 7 yards, and we're about to set to get a big second half underway at Sturgis High School. This second half could go a long way in determining this 2020 Trojan season. Approaching Morqueco, line drive kick with some distance. It's going to hit and bounces out of bounds at about the 3-yard line. He almost saw that thing tail into the corner of the end zone, but not quite.
Went out at about the 2 or 3 yard line. Flag goes down and they'll put the ball out on the 35-yard line.
And 1st and 10 there for the Chieftains of Dowagiac. And they bring their senior quarterback out there, Zane McPhail. We've heard from Haynes, White, and Collier running the football. We haven't heard from the Smiths, though. Mike and Stewart, they're not brothers, but they are senior bookend tight ends, Randy, and They're out there mostly to block for those running backs.
Yeah, they don't do anything fancy. It's a lot of disguise and misdirection.
Here we go, 1st and 10. Little wishbone there behind the quarterback, number 34, pushed out of bounds after a short gain of maybe 1. That's one of the backup halfbacks, Keyshawn Russell.
Looked like Thompson may have run him out of bounds at about the 35.
We broke that through there again, but he lost a shoe on the play.
That's never a good thing.
Who knows?
That'll definitely slow you down.
Mark Odisher sent greetings to you, Randy, while you were down taking a break at halftime.
Hi there, Mike.
2nd down and 9 after a gain of 1. Handoff fullback, Haynes. Ooh. And Haynes gets a yard again for Dowajak. Stopped at the 37. 3rd and long for the orange and black of Dowajak High School. Dowajak Union High School.
You would think Mark could come up here and give us a little hair trim while we're waiting on the game to get going.
You and me?
Yeah.
It'll take him about 2 minutes. You need
Right, something like that. That would be the easiest money he ever made.
I'd have to go Nancy if I went that route.
You think so?
3rd down and 8. Sturgis defense trying to get off the field on the opening series of the second half. McPhail takes it, hands off number 4. That's Denny White. And White is bottled up around that left end after a gain of 1. 1, 2, 3, and out. Jack Trojan's going to get the football. Their defense continues to shine here in this homecoming game.
Yeah, what a fantastic defensive drive by Riley Payne. That shoulder does not seem to be affecting him as much as I thought it would be. He made the last 2 tackles, I believe.
Well, I tell you what, if he gets one on the left shoulder pad, that's got to not feel good, though.
And trainer Ashley Hopkins told me she believes it may be a bone bruising because Kane has these bouts of pain that slowly subsides. So not an official diagnosis, but not as serious as we thought.
Oh, a pounding snap. Late one hop into the hands of the punter, Rudd, and he just kind of ankles one, and it goes out of bounds at the Sturgis 42-yard line. So the Trojans going to have good field position for their first chance here in the second half with 10:26 to play in the third, trailing behind the Chieftains 6-0.
Nice grab by Sturgis head coach Chance Stewart on the sideline there.
I want to welcome all of you listening tonight on air, online at foxsportssturgis.com, on the free TuneIn radio app, keywords WBET-AM. Maybe you've asked your smart speaker to play WBET-AM. Those of you watching and listening on YouTube tonight on the Sturgis Schools YouTube channel, and via the Sturgis Schools website, sturgisps.org, if you've signed up for that also. Quarterback keep on the option. That's Kane, buried after a pickup of about 4 over the 45 to the 46-yard line. 3 Chieftain defenders there to bring him down to Mother Earth. It's 2nd down and 6.
No, that's just so scary to me when he's running the ball. Because he's been tackled and they drive that shoulder into the ground and then he's down again. I'd like to see him pitch it. Get to somebody else.
Hard to believe 3 weeks from tonight, the playoffs begin. 2nd down, 6. Option, and Kane going to pitch late to Thompson. Thompson, with a little surge, gets a yard, and that's it to the 47. It's going to bring up 3rd down, and still about 6 needed for the Trojans. They need the 48-yard line of Dowajak to get a 1st down. But again, yards for both teams, Randy, are just very difficult to come by here in this homecoming game.
Yeah, interesting play there. Riley coming to the left side, actually pitched the ball with his left hand.
Clock ticking, 9:15 to play in the third. 6-0 Chieftains. Rolling right, throwing high and incomplete. If he caught it, it would have been short of a 1st down over there for Connor Thomas. But Jack, it was just a little too much air on that thing, a little bit too high. Kind of went up as far as he could.
Unfortunately, Thomas seems to be walking fine. It landed right on his tailbone after.
Yeah, I mean, he did come down hard. You're right. Sturgis will have to punt.
There's Herman out here at the left end. See if he can make a tackle again on the punt.
Kane to kick it away from his 37. Line drive kick at the Andy. Let's see if it slows down. Bounces at the 13. It'll be down by the Trojans. Special teamers at the 10-yard line. And finally they get one to not roll or bounce close into the end zone. 1st and 10 to Wajak deep in their own territory.
Yeah, it looked like Xander Cosby got down there to down that at the 10-yard line.
I think Hayden's been hitting that leg extension machine because his last just soared.
Yeah, boy, he got some mustard on that thing. That came zooming off his foot. Next Friday night, we'll go to Otsego. Plainwell will be here in 2 weeks for senior night to close out the regular season, and then 3 weeks, as we said, playoffs, and everybody is in Michigan, and Michigan is in, so you don't have to do that Indianapolis Colts coaches things like playoffs. You're in.
Talking playoffs?
Run on 1st down. That's number 14, David Collier, the halfback, and he's got a nice little block in front of him. He's short of a 1st down, but it looks like he got 9 to the 19-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd and short. Both teams content to keep it on the ground right now. Clock rolling away, 8:35 to play in the 3rd quarter. 6-0 Chieftains. A 1-yard quarterback sneak, not even 1 yard, maybe a quarter of a yard on 4th and goal by quarterback Zane McPhail. And there's a 1st down carry for Collier again. Runs to the right side in front of the Trojan bench. Got about 7. Blake Berkey lifting him off his feet after that 1st down carry. 1st and 10 at the 26.
You know, we've seen a lot of Haynes, up the middle, but, he's been very valuable in these last 2 plays as a blocker. He gets out in front of Collier, and then, he's got some room to run.
They named him Malachi. Did they think about Marcus
Haynes? Most of the people listening to this aren't going to know that. You have to be over 55 to know that.
Handoff, and that time the Trojan defense looked like they had the ball carrier sewn up, but he squirted out of there for a pickup of about 3 or 4. They unstacked, and that is Haynes that time.
Yeah, Marcus Haynes, of course, the legendary Globetrotter, Harlem Globetrotter.
Julian Aldridge on the tackle for Sturgis.
I was always a Curly Neal guy, though.
Curly just passed away not that long ago.
Crushing.
Yeah, we've lost him and Meadowlark a few years ago.
Well, Geese Osby, wasn't he one of them?
Yeah.
Actually, Wilt Chamberlain was one of them at one point.
Came out of Kansas University and played for the Globetrotters for a couple years before he ended up in Philadelphia. To the left side they go with Danny White. Not going to do it, Jack. He gets a yard or 2, but it's 3rd down and a chance for Sturgis' defense to get off the field again.
Yeah, Van Wagner came in and put a big hit on the running back. He appears to have hurt his wrist on the play.
He's shaking it off a little bit, isn't he?
Looks like it. He's going to stay on the field, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks more than just a shake-off kind of thing.
3rd and 4.5 for the Chieftains. They need the 37-yard line for a 1st down or just shy of it. And they'll give us to the right side. That's going to be very close to a 1st down, but I don't think it's enough that time for David Collier. He got 3 just across the 35. You hope that plane. But they need just the other side of the 36. 4th down, and they're going to give it to him. 1st down. Wow.
That was pretty quick.
Goodness. Did you see that spot?
It wasn't really that spot. I was expecting the chain game on that one, but didn't seem to be much disagreement from the Sturgis sideline.
No argument. 1st and 10. Ball at the 36-yard line. Ooh, a little hit. The quarterback hit the ball carrier that time, in trouble, and thrown back for a big loss. Wow. Number 58 for Sturgis. Or Ellis Van Wagner, rather, 56 on the tackle. A loss of about 3. It's 2nd and long.
It appears that this is officially shaken off with his feet pushed right in here and brought the quarterback down.
Well, between each play, he's kind of bending down and kind of holding it, but he's playing through it.
Boy, breeze that's rolling into the box, Randy, feels more like early September than it does October.
I went outside the press box at halftime, and I'll tell you what, it's nice out.
Oh, man. Love this weather for October. Toss, left side, 34, trying to get outside. And a great tax. Connor Strudwick, he didn't quite bring him down, but he slowed him down enough for his teammates to finish up. It's a loss of 2 or 3 more, and it's going to bring up 3rd and nearly 15 for Dowagiac.
That's what you love to see. Struggling, diving at the running back. Slowing him down. That's good.
Exactly. 4:45 to play. Boy, we're really moving along, Randy, here in the third quarter. Both teams keeping it on the turf.
It's much different than a couple weeks ago when it seemed like every play had a penalty or someone injured.
Yeah, it's been a clean game. Handoff, fullback, driven back is David Collier on the Trojan defense, standing tall again. Luke Herman there. Also, Julian Aldridge. He's actually the first man that wrapped him up. A gain of a couple, fourth and a dozen. And on comes Nate Judd in the Chieftain punting unit with 4:10 to play in the third. And Wajak still on top, 6-0.
Man, I'll tell you what, the interior of the Sturgis defensive line has just played their hearts out tonight.
Aldridge did a good on that play. The Chieftains ran a misdirection. They had the hole, but Aldridge stayed home and he plugged it right out.
Judd, good snap, and gets it off. Boy, he had a rush on him. And again, Sturgis going to let it hit one bounce, though, into the hands of Jacob Thompson. Comes up the 40 near sideline. Swings back to the 45. Broken tackle at midfield. Another one at the 40 at the Wajak. Spins around, still on his feet. Goes backwards, then heads forward, and finally dropped at the 35-yard line of the Chieftains, but it's a return of nearly 30 yards for the Trojan sophomore.
It's a net 1-yard punt.
Now, Randy, got to take advantage of this field position late in the third quarter. Starting at the 35 of the Chieftains.
There's a Chieftain down again. They're going to stop the clock and have him have a look at him.
Here's we have a sprained ankle, line number 83 on the Chieftains.
And that is Stuart Smith.
Well, that's not the first time he's been down.
No.
They've tended to him a couple times.
6'1" senior being helped off. Favoring that left ankle, as Jack alluded to. So Sturgis starts.
Thompson almost did not pick that ball up. Coach Shane Stewart was nearly on the...
Yeah, it looked like it bounced up and hit him right in the stomach.
Yeah, if that gets by him, Jack, that's a great point. If he lets that go, if it bounces one way or the other, Sturgis is probably going to be pinned back at about the 20. First and 10. Sturgis from the 35 whistles. Flag drop just as that play was snapped. It's going to go against the home team. Sturgis illegal procedure. That's the fourth penalty on Sturgis tonight for a total of 25 yards. The Wajak has 2 personal foul penalties for 30 yards and the only 2 turnovers, a pick and a fumble, both forced by Sturgis. So they're winning the turnover battle, just like they did in the opening 2 weeks, Randy, but the scoreboard says Dwajak right now.
Wasn't it 2 weeks ago that the game saw 23 penalties?
Just a ton of them, especially in the second half, and those Trojan injuries. Little bubble screen right side. Looks like number 8 over there, Blake Berkey. Oh, it is Robinson. Pushed out after a short gain at about the 38. Give him 2 back after the penalty. It's second and 13 Sturgis. That's been pretty much the MO tonight, Randy. We've had good field position, either a loss or a penalty, and the tide quickly shifts on the offense.
And then we just seem to so far keep moving backwards.
3:25 clock stop late in the third quarter. Dwajak on top, 6-0. 3 receivers in the spread. For Keene, takes a snap, drops it, picks it back up, fires deep down the sideline, looking, and almost caught and dropped by Robinson.
That was just a good play on the defense.
Malachi Haynes was one-on-one, Jack, that time, and he bobbled it. It was still in the air, a chance, but couldn't bring it in.
Yeah, pushing the even better defense by Haynes on the Chieftains. Robinson won the pass interference call, but it actually looked pretty clean to me. It was just 2 for a ball.
Yeah, I think that's good defense, Randy, right there. It's 3rd and 13.
And he had him. I mean, Kane just absolutely dropped it in there, and I'm sure Robinson would have caught it if not for a play by Haynes.
Pretty good make up for Keene after he dropped that snap. He was under some duress.
I think that's all he had in the gun, though.
Sturgis running out of time is going to have to call a timeout. Their first of the second half. Didn't want to, but they didn't get set in time. We'll break 30. 3:19 to play. Third quarter on homecoming night in Sturgis. It remains Dowagiac 6, the Trojans nothing. This is the new Fox Sports Radio, 99.7 FM and 1230 AM.
With all of the crazy headlines out there, are you wondering if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or at least considering it. This is Kyle Dury, your local Edward Jones financial advisor. If you have more questions than answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by our office in downtown Sturgis or give me a call at 651-7861. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
Well, they came quick out of the timeout. Maybe that was a bad thing. They tried to reverse. Sturgis did. The second flip didn't connect. And the ball was deflected out near midfield, and Malachi Haynes, Randy, jumped out of there. Change of possession, Trojans fumble, and Dowagiac has it back at midfield.
Yeah, that wasn't even in doubt. Haynes came up with it, and he was the only one there, so Trojans fortunate enough he didn't take off running with it.
First down carry goes nowhere. Stacked right up by three Trojans at the line of scrimmage was Haynes.
It looked like Kobe Mullins in on that tackle also. First time we've heard of Kobe tonight.
Ellis Van Wagner there, and Ellis now slow to get up. Jack, he's in some pain down there right now.
Is that wrist again?
It looks like it. Now he's going to drop to the ground to take an official timeout.
Yeah, you could tell. His shoulders were slumped. You could tell he was in a lot of pain, and now he goes down on his backside, and there'll be an injury timeout. Chance Stewart and the training staff will get out there to take a peek. Late in the third quarter with 2:46 remaining in it, and Dowagiac looking at a 2nd and 10 and leading 6-0. Don't forget, coming up on the postgame show, Randy and I select a Jim Stikeman Chevrolet Buick GMC Trojan Player of the Game. That's coming up on the postgame here tonight.
And I'll tell you what, that kid that's down on the field right now, Van Wagner, there's no more important person on that defense than him. He just controls the interior line.
He was shaking up that wrist area, but he may have gotten the wind knocked out of him as well. He got up and tried to walk away and then collapsed again. So
he's up and coming off, Jack, isn't he, under his own power?
Yep.
So 2nd and 10, Dowagiac. They're just content right now to continue to run that football and eat clock, leading 6-0. Hand off, that's 34. Stripped one tackle and another one coming near sideline. Getting it first down, look out. Staying in bounds, that's 34. Is going to have to be caught from behind at about the 9-yard line. Keyshawn Russell, I thought he stepped out, Randy, at about the 40.
I did also.
It did appear that he stepped out of bounds. Trojans seemed frustrated. That's any indication that they saw a foot on the line.
From the naked eye, it looked like he stepped out at about the 40, but no whistle blew, and no one has a better look than that side judge here on the near end. First and goal at the 8-yard line. Just outside the 8 for Dowagiac, knocking on the door, and this would be a huge score if the Chieftains are able to punch it in on this series. Handoff, Haynes, and Haynes dives off right tackle. Nice little pickup there inside the 5 to about the 3. Giving 5 yards, 2nd and goal, right back where they were, Randy, when they scored in the first quarter.
Just so tough to stop stop them once they get inside the 5 because they disguise who has the ball so well.
What a run, though, by Keyshawn Russell. And he's back out there. Slot back left right now. Quarterback, hands off. Haynes walks in. Touchdown. Chieftains. And they're up 2 scores. And probably will go for 2 here with 1:35 to play in the third quarter.
Yeah, that's going to be a tall order for the Trojans. Come back and score 14 points, but they can do it. It's a couple scores. They got a quarter left to do it. We'll see how it goes. We're going to suit Jack up.
That's the dream.
Yes,
one more day in pads.
Oh, yeah. And the Trojans may not be as down as we think. They've had a few really good shots at the end zone. 2 long passes that could have been with just a few inches. Let's hope they can do these 2 quick scores.
Tawajek goes for 2 and brought down just shy of the goal line that time is Haynes. No good. Timeout. 1:35 to play. Late in the third from SHS. It's now the Chieftains 12. Sturgis nothing. Trojan Game Night continues after this on the new Fox Sports Radio. 99.7 FM and 12:30 AM.
What is it that separates Hass Kaywood PC from other law firms? They listen. They listen to your needs. They listen to your concerns. Then they go to work. Hass Kaywood PC provides cutting-edge legal representation with a hometown approach. In Southwest Michigan and Northern Indiana, Hass Kaywood PC is the name to know for business, commercial, and personal legal services. Visit their website at hasskaywood.com. They're ready to listen. Hass Kaywood PC. Offices in Sturgis and downtown Coldwater.
After the Trojan fumble, Dwajek goes 50 yards in 1:38. Big run there, over 30 yards from their halfback. Keyshawn Russell sets up a score 3 plays later. Randy, 2-point run. Conversion no good. That's the good news. Bad news, Trojans are down 12-zip.
Yeah, it's nice that they did not get the 2-point conversion. That puts a lot more pressure on the Trojans, but let's see if we can answer with this run back.
Here comes Thompson from the 5, straight up the center of the field, crosses the 30, dropped at the 34, return of 29 yards for the youngster. And Sturgis' offense back out, Jack. They've got some work to do now, late in the third quarter.
Yeah, we'll see what the Trojans can do. They've actually gotten a really good field position for most of this game, but unfortunately, they normally suffer us back.
First and 10, Sturgis. Team in black breaks the huddle. They really, although they've had good field position, Randy, they haven't threatened deep in Dwajak territory tonight at all.
No, I don't think they've been in the red zone yet.
Blake Berkey runs for about 3 to the 36-yard line. Second, long 7 here for Sturgis. Actually spotted closer to the 35-yard line. Clock continues to roll. We'll go down inside a minute to play in the third before the Trojans snap again.
Trojans, without that high-octane offense, need to really manage the time.
Bubble screen, left side caught by Roman Robinson, and gets drilled out of bounds. Looks like he stepped out for a moment and then got hit. Officials said it was clean. He's very close to a first down, but I think he's just shy of it by maybe a half a yard.
We'll see where they put the spot. Ooh, woof, that spot.
Yeah, with that spot, they're still going to be about a yard short, aren't they? Third down and 1, Jack.
Well, you notice the Trojans are splitting out 2 receivers on each side now. I think that they want to keep that threat, the pass open, because it seems to be working so far against the Wildcats.
They just need to start putting together some first downs. Bobble snap, picked back up by Thompson, and he's hit and fell behind the line of scrimmage at the 40-yard line. So they went with Thompson on the direct snap, and it cost him a yard and a half. Fourth down here. That might might be the final. Well, no, there's plenty of time left. 38 seconds to play in the quarter, and Sturgis not going to gamble here. They're going to let their defense play again. They're punting units out.
It appears there's an incidental face mask on Thompson just for a split second on that last play. The ref almost threw his flag.
Yeah, I agree. High snap. Kane pulls it down, gets it off. Wobbly kick. Hits at the 38, takes a Trojan bounce, and rolls inside the 30 and down at about the 27-yard line with 11.6 seconds to play in the third quarter. And Dowagiac on top 12-0.
Well, they're going to ask the defense to step up one more time, get them the ball back. But time will become a factor here. With the ground game, you know Dowagiac's not going to throw the ball.
No, they're lining up and saying, stop us if you can. In the meantime, we're going to eat clock here in the second half and limit your opportunities to put it in on your offensive side. Sturgis could use a turnover here. Again, they forced two of them tonight, a pick and a fumble recovery. Give is to Haynes. Haynes with some nice blocking in front, carrying Trojan tacklers with him for a first down, it looks like, up over the 37 to the 38-yard line. That should be enough for a first down with 1.2 seconds to play in the quarter.
Boy, nothing fancy there, just straight ahead running by Haynes.
They're going to move the sticks, and then Dowagiac, I'm sure, will let the, once they restart the clock, and here it is, let the final second and 2 tenths tick off. And hold on now, we head to the fourth quarter on homecoming night, 2020 in Sturgis. Trojans, an uphill climb. They trail behind the Chieftains, 12-0. This is Sturgis Game Night on the new Fox Sports Radio, 99.7 FM and 1230 AM.
Can't get to the bank on time? Try Southern Michigan Bank and Trust. Their staff is still there to answer your questions and help with transactions as late as 7 p.m. when you call them or use the chat function in online banking. Want to bank even later? Try any of their 24/7 services like mobile deposit, bill pay, and online banking. Banking on your own time becomes a reality when you switch to Southern. Southern Michigan Bank and Trust, the right bank for life. Member FDIC.
At Gaybridge & Company, we're passionate about business. Gaybridge & Company, CPAs, financial advisors, and consultants. On the web at gaybridgeco.com. That's GABridgeco.com.
See the local business pros at Gaybridge & Company, 127 West Chicago Road in downtown Sturgis. Serving you is what they do.
Starting the fourth quarter, Malachi Haynes gets the handoff on first down, gets a yard and a hard yard at that. Riley Kane on the tackle for Sturgis. Second down, 9. They've got fourth down on the down marker across the field, but it's second down.
There we go. Now they got it fixed.
In no hurry, Jack, is this Dowagiac team, and I don't blame them. They're using clock right now. Second down. Give up front. Haynes again. Haynes doing the dirty work, struggling, pulling, pushing, dragging people all the way up to the 45-yard line for a gain of 6. Third and 3. Third and very manageable right now for the Chieftains.
And all of a sudden, they're not able to bring Haynes down.
No, the coaches were saying during that timeout or quarter change that the Trojans need to stick to their duties. They did a very good job not leaving their man in the first. He's really good at concealing the ball. The Trojans really have to hit every guy they can and stick to their duty on the field.
Now this is a huge third down call early in the fourth quarter now, trailing by 2 scores. Third and 3, got to get off the field. Handoff, breaking one tackle, falling ahead. I think he's got enough for a first down. A strong run there for Keyshawn Russell. Trojans had him wrapped up, couldn't finish the deal. It's going to be first down for the Chieftains.
A couple big runs by that player.
Referee coming in to take a look.
Yeah, Keyshawn just that and the long run, the last drive. Just two really big runs for the Chieftains.
Wajak starting to grind this out a little bit now. You wonder the Trojans are starting to get worn down a little bit. Their defense has been on the field quite a bit here in the second half. 10:26 to play here in the quarter, and we have a whistle. They want to restart. They want to reset the play clock. No food, so reset the play clock. First and 10, Dawajak bottled up his Haynes. Wrapped up by three black jerseys. Berkey, Aldridge, and Kane all there teaming up. Second and 10.
So Berkey, Aldridge, and Kane on the tackle?
Yes,
Sounds about right.
The law firm.
Sounds about right.
Berkey, Aldridge, and Kane.
And Payne.
And Payne. You got Payne, you see Kane. Second and 10. Inside 10 minutes now, 9:45 to play. 12 on the play clock. Zane McPhail, the senior quarterback's done a nice job guiding this team. Pitch right side, caught and thrown back. Loss of 3. Collier.
Looked like it might have been Marqueco. No, it was Thompson.
Good pursuit there, Jack, that time by the Trojan D.
It's good to see the defense get in there. Dwajak's running it really slow. The Trojans need something that gets some enthusiasm and start getting into the game again. It's a big hit right there.
Third down and 13. Randy Brooks, the second-year coach. He's 7-6 now in his second season. 1-0 against the Trojans. 0-1 in the playoffs. A 1981 Edwardsburg High School graduate. Went to Western Michigan University. And misdirection play. A nice run that time, but well short of a first down. It's Russell again, who gets into Sturgis territory. Riley Kane on a stop, going to bring up 4th and 5. Is that enough yardage for Brooks to gamble a little bit? I don't think so. He's got his punting unit out there.
Yeah, that was quite a play that Dwajak ran that time. They ran people in 4 different directions. The last guy got it against the grain and got a pretty good gain, but not enough for the first down.
Yeah, Coach Brooks has been around, Randy. He was an assistant here at Dwajak for 18 years, as an assistant at Niles Brandywine for a couple, and South Bend Riley for a year. Before he went to Edwardsburg and was defensive coordinator. It hits and bounces out of bounds, that punt. Boy, it kind of straddled that sideline for a moment, but it's down, or out of bounds, I should say, at the 24-yard line. Sturgis 76 yards away with 8:05 left and trailing 12-0.
Yeah, the Trojans, they're a little, excuse me. I exploded. It's a little surprising that they don't try to, get one of those punts and make a little bit of a run back on that.
Yeah.
They need to make something happen with 8 minutes left and down 2 touchdowns.
Well, and Jack, at some point they're going to have to pick up the pace a little bit on offense.
Yeah, the Trojans really need to break something big here. Enthusiasm is very low. I can see them get a little more pumped up on offense.
Snap, a little toss. Thompson looks like he wants to pass on the halfback option. Going to throw, got a man a little bit underthrown. Looking to the center of the field, and he had a man open there, Roman Robinson.
Well, he was wide open in the middle of the zone.
And Thompson hits him in stride. Robinson could catch and run a little bit. As it is, it's incomplete, and it's 2nd and 10. Clock stopped, 7:58 remaining in the 4th. A loss here puts Sturgis at 2-2 and on the road to Otsego next Friday night.
It doesn't get any easier.
No, and a good Plainwell team coming in here in 2 weeks. I mean, that's a team that beat this Dwajak team badly earlier in the season. Little trip, stumble. I don't know if that was a stumble or just great defense, Jack. It's a loss of about 4.
Well, he stumbled backwards is where he stumbled.
He may have stumbled backwards, but it looked like the Chieftains may have had a claw job anyway. They really did ask the line on that last play.
Riley King had no chance that time. Loss of 4 back near the 20. 3rd and 14. 7.5. That clock continues to meltdown here in the fourth quarter. Hey, you hear Chance Stewart in the background there. Pick up a mic from Jack Shesky. He says, listen, we got to hustle up. It's that time of the game. Rolling right, Kane, throwing right side, caught in front of the Sturgis bench. Not a whole lot there. At about the 25-yard line is Connor Thomas. Number 4 shoved him out. Eddie White. Fourth down.
Yeah, I think the Trojans are going to have to go here. They're going to have to roll the dice a little bit.
They've got 2 timeouts. Remember, they had to use a timeout as the play clock was running down earlier this half. But they're going to kick it away here. Dwajak sends nobody deep. Kane at about the 13-yard line. High snap, pulls it down. Gets a sidewinding kick. Hits and takes a Sturgis bounce. Inside the 40. And it'll be spotted there at the 35-yard line by Xander Cosby. 6:35 remaining in the fourth. The Wajak has it back, and if you're Sturgis, you better line about 12 men up in the box, Randy, because that's what you're going to get right now.
Yeah, they haven't shown any interest in throwing the ball really the entire game. But, that's going to just run the clock away. The Trojans are going to have to stop them without a first down. They need a 3 and out here.
I think Jack said it best. You need, if you get the ball back, someone's going to have to make a dynamic play and run for the Roses.
Maybe a takeaway here.
But the Wajak's going to make that difficult right now because they're going to play it close to the vest. They've got everybody right now in the box on offense. Motion man with misdirection again. Nice run to the 40. Give them half of what they needed on first down. As Danny White picks it up. Kind of struggling on the tackle for Sturgis.
But that counter is still very effective for Dwajak in the second half. We'd like to see the Trojans plug that up a little better, but
Coach Randy Brooks has done a nice job of keeping an eye on that clock, Randy, and still getting his plays out there for his team.
And that senior cornerback is doing a good job, too. He's not rushing up to the line of scrimmage and snapping it real quick.
He's not flashy at all, but he has done a respectable job here. There's a first down run. Pushing the Trojan defense into Sturgis territory to the 49-yard line. That's a gain of 11 and a Dwajak first down. And every first down from here on out is just putting another nail down on the Trojans.
Yeah, that one really hurts. They needed a 3 and out. Get the ball back with, there's 5 minutes left. It's going to be 5:30 by the time the next time they snap it. So.
And Jack Sturgis has not scored now their offense in about 8 quarters. That's 2 games going back to that Allegan game 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, a lot of that probably has to do with the changes at the quarterback position. It's really hard to form an offense around a new person every week.
Quarterback going to take off and keep it, struggle, pull a couple tacklers with him to about the 46. Gain of 3 for McPhail. Trojans sending a couple of fresh defensive bodies out there. Julian Aldridge on the tackle, second down. We're going to go inside 5 minutes, Randy, before the next snap.
The Wajak running game's gotten stronger as the second half has gone on.
12-0, Chieftains lead it. Quarterback sneak late in the first quarter. And a 3-yard run from Malachi Haynes in the third quarter. That's the difference right now. Sturgis has been shut out. We have a whistle, near side judge, procedure penalty against Dwajak. Trojans trying desperately, Randy, not to lose their 7th straight to this team. We just are befuddled against this club.
Yeah, I think this one was here for us to take. It's just, we have not been able to get any sort of continuity on offense.
That penalty backs Dwajak up back into their own territory at about the 47, 48-yard line.
Be interesting to see the stats on this offensively when they come out tomorrow.
2nd and 13. Trojans with a win could go a long way and perhaps hosting an opening round playoff game. Haynes hitting the backfield, grabbed by his shirt, and he struggled ahead. Finally, a whistle will blow. He gets a yard. Shy of midfield. 3rd down and 12 coming up. But not until we go inside the 4-minute mark here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and Just taking their time getting the play calls in. 22-21 on the play clock.
Wajak still 10 on the play clock right now. And he's not going to dip under center until about 6, and he does that now. They snap with 2, a handoff. That's Haynes. Haynes bounces to the right side. Gets a handful to the 45. Short of a first down, and Chance Stewart is going to call Sturgis' second time out of the hat. We'll keep it here. 3.5 to play in the ball game. Final, Fairfield 42, Lakeland nothing. Fairfield's now 7-0, 4-0 in the NECC Big School Division and wins the division title. Lakeland falls to 2-6, 1-2.
So if you're Dowagiac here, do you punt this, or do you just go ahead and run it up the middle? See if you can get that 5 yards, and then the game's over.
Yes.
They get this 5 yards, game's over. And even if they don't, Trojans have to go 55 yards for their first score.
Yeah, no 2-minute warning in high school, and Sturgis down to a final single timeout.
And 3:30 left.
That's a lot of things that got to go your way. If you're at the poker table, you're down to your last couple chips here.
Well, you can hear the Sturgis coaches during the timeout saying somebody has to make a play. That is the Trojans' last hope. We need something explosive offense if they get the ball.
Absolutely, Jack. There's no doubt about it. You got to look to strip. You can make an tackle, but yeah, you got to look for reach for that ball. But to Dowagiac's credit, it's been tough. They've been pushing it down Sturgis' throats pretty well here in the second half with that running game.
They most certainly have.
4th and 5, and they're going for it. 4th and about 5.5. Handoff 42. That's a new man, and they're going to have a first down. Number 42 got the handoff. Looking for that number. 48, one of the two.
Looks to me like he's got it.
Yeah, it's Terrence Price, number 48, and he needed 5.5, and he got 5 3/4. First down to Wajak, and that, my friends, is a killer first down right there on 4th down.
Yeah, that one's probably going to put this one in the books. Because the Trojans aren't going to get the ball back without a takeaway until there's probably a minute left.
Defensively, enough to win tonight. Offensively, some work to do before Otsego next week. And another handoff. The Wajak just keeps sending fresh bodies out there to run the football. They got about 3 more. Aldridge again on the tackle.
I don't know where they're getting all these people. There aren't very many people on the sidelines. This will be one of the few times that the Trojans have more people, on the sideline than the other team.
Yeah, it's good to see. But tonight, advantage to the team with fewer on the sideline. And it's somewhat a young Wajak team, but they've always played well against Sturgis. Man in motion, handoff up front to Haynes. Haynes falls forward inside the 35 to the 33. Brings up 3rd down at about 3.5.
We're going to wind under 2 minutes by the time this snap comes around.
We're going to have a 3rd and 3.
One more first down.
We get 3 yards of play. That's good enough, and Haynes has been doing a good job of that tonight for Dowagiac. He's just getting...
You get the feeling, Jack, that Sturgis' defense has been worn down here in the second half?
It appears so, and I think Dowagiac taking their time is very emotionally hard, too. It's hard to really get excited when they're taking so long between plays.
Down to 1 on the play clock, and they snap it beautifully. Great clock management and a first down carry. Needed 3, got about 6, and that's going to get a few of the Trojan fans up off their seats and headed out into this beautiful Friday night. They move the stick, stop the clock for a moment, restart it, and we're down to 90 seconds to play in this one. Sturgis can stop it one more time, but they may not even do that, Randy.
Well, this has been textbook clock management by the Chieftains. They've just done an excellent job here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, credit Randy Brooks and his staff. They just didn't give Sturgis his chance here in the second half.
No.
They dominated time of possession. Quarterback going to keep it around the end. McPhail turns back upfield and gets drilled. Down to a minute to play. Randy and I will select that. Jim Steichman, Chevrolet Buick GMC player of the game, and we have a whistle. And Sturgis is going to use their final timeout. We'll break 30. 53.9 seconds remaining in the fourth here at SHS. Dwajak ready to put the lights out. They lead Sturgis 12-0. This is Fox Sports Radio, 99.7 FM and 1230 AM.
We've got Jim Steichman here from the new Steichman Chevrolet in Sturgis. Jim, happy to have you in the neighborhood. What's going on with Chevrolet right now?
Jim Steichman here. I'm super excited about being in Sturgis, and we have our new shipments of Chevrolets. Over 60 in inventory. The hard-to-get Blazer, $8,100 off. The Silverado, $8,300 off. And the Equinox is 0%, 84 months, or 15% off. Come see me today. Jim Steichman Chevrolet Buick GMC, right here in Sturgis.
Sturgis starting the clock for the final time that they're allowed to with their timeouts here in the second half. Second down, Chieftains. Delay, and the handoff goes back into the backfield again. Pickup of 2 down close to the 20. Collier on the carry. Strudwick on the tackle. Third down, and it looks like one more snap is all Dwajak's going to need. Down to 5 on the play clock. They don't hurry. They're going to take 10 on the play clock. I'm sorry, the goalpost got in our way. Can't see that one. They hand off to Haynes, and Haynes, boy, he wants 6, but he's going to be stopped short at about the 9-8-yard line, we'll call it.
Yeah, we'll see if they take a knee here. Just get out of here.
They don't even have to, Randy. They'll move the chains
and then start it.
Start the clock. Randy, Jack, and I back to wrap things up after this. They start the clock here, and that's it. Sturgis has been shut out for the second time in as many weeks, losing last week 49-0. Tonight they fall on homecoming night 12-0 to visiting Dwajak and fall to 2-2 on the season. Back with our post-game coverage from SHS after this on Fox Sports Radio, 99.7 FM and 1230 AM.